link is being sent to in the group by Vijay. So he will get the recording on his email. So you guys have to ask it from him.
Okay.
After every class, right? So these are the applications of SQL. This is what we can do using SQL, correct? Now, the data can be stored in multiple ways. Actually, data, like there are different types of data, right? In terms of their storage, we can classify the data into two things, relational and non-relational. Now, there are different classifications actually based on different categories. There are different classifications of data. There are different types of data, nominal data, ordinal data. When we talk about in mathematics terms actually, but I'm not touching all of them. I'm just seeing the classification of data with respect to their storage, right? So first is relational data and the second is non-relational data. So let me give you a very classic, very easy example to remember this. So see, nowadays a lot of type of data is being actually generated for by us. For example, Max, you go on Instagram, you like a post, you comment on that post, you share that post, you watch 100 reels. So that's a different kind of data being generated through you by you for Instagram. But Jessie goes to Instagram and she uploaded a picture of celebrating Christmas. That's also a data generated by a person for Instagram, but that's a non-relational data. That's an image. It can, their size can vary. The size of the image can vary. The dimensions of image can vary. Right? So image, audio, video, all of these things are non-relational data, which have a dynamic schema. Dynamic schema means the size of, I cannot exactly figure out that, okay, my video will be 5 for 5 MB. No, size might vary, dynamic schema. So to store that kind of data, we can use NoSQL database. NoSQL database means not only SQL.
Okay.
Not only SQL.
Okay.
Right? In this NoSQL database, the data is either stored through by key value pair, document based, graph based, or like that.
Okay.
They do not have a fixed schema. They have dynamic schema.
I
In a post, I'm just giving an example. This is not a real example, but I'm just giving you to relate. In a post can be a single photo or maybe a carousel. Right? Sequence of photos. Right? So carousel also. So they have a very dynamic schema. They work well with high volume of data. Examples of non-relational databases are MongoDB, Cassandra, HBase, Apache, so many. Right? But for this, in this tutorial, we are not going to study about non-relational databases. We will focus on relational database and in particular SQL.
Okay.
Now, I already told you what is relational database. Okay, let me give you a very quick example. Okay. So let's say there is any food delivery application or any e-commerce website in the US, right, Max?
Yes.
So this is their schema. This is nothing but what we call as schema. Schema means the blueprint.
Okay.
The blueprint of the database. Let's say I'm talking about a database. These are the different tables inside that database. See, the database is the larger entity, top level entity. Inside a database, we can have multiple tables to store different kind of information.
Right.
Different table is for different type of information. And all of these tables are interlinked, related to one another by some common columns. Okay, that is why we call it whole database as a relational database, because every other table have a relationship with each other. That is why this is named as relational database.
Right.
Got that? Let me just give you the example. So let's say, Max, you come on any e-commerce platform, let's say Amazon. For example, if we talk about Amazon in reference, I always try to give example because I feel examples are something which allows us to recall anything, remember anything for a longer time.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just give you an example. Let's say you go on Amazon for the very first time, you signed up. You will put your name, you will put your address, you will put your contact details and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So Amazon stores the data of new user into the users table
Mm-hmm.
per se. So you will now, as soon as you go to Amazon and you created your account, Amazon will create a unique ID for you,
Mm-hmm.
because in the world there are millions and billions of customers of Amazon, and
Mm-hmm.
many of them can have similar name. A lot of people can be named Maxwell.
Right.
A lot of people can have same gender, same date of birth, same country.
Mm.
A lot of people can create their account at the same time. But what makes you guys different is ID which Amazon created by itself
Mm-hmm.
to uniquely identify you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for example, when we were in school, we had a different roll number, student ID.
Yes.
For US government, you guys have social security number.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's unique for every citizen of the country.
Yes.
Correct? So that's how the government identifies you, by a unique identity. Similarly, in relational database, every table will have a unique ID, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a user ID, full name, Maxwell, email, whatever, gender, male, date of birth, country code, and created at, right? Now, you created your account. Similarly, Jessie came, she created the account. I came, I created the account. So many people created their account on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
All of this information will be stored in the users table. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the next system which we do is we search some item according to our usage and we try to order it. Correct? So let's say Max, you ordered something. So now that information, this is a different set of information which will be stored in the orders table.
Right.
Getting the point?
Mm-hmm.
Jesse, are you with me?
I'm with you, Akshat. I'm with you.
Right, right. Now, again, as I told you, every table will have a unique ID. So now this orders will have an ID, that is orders ID.
Mm-hmm.
Because every order you make, every order you place will have a different order ID, if you remember. Even if Max, you place 10 orders in a day, 10 different orders in a day, you will get 10 different order IDs,
Right.
Okay.
right? So every order will have their order ID. Then user ID. Now this user ID is the ID of the user who placed the order.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
By which Amazon will identify, okay, this is the order ID which is placed by this user.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say the user ID is 1, for example. So they will come to the users table and see ID 1. Now they will be able to understand, oh, this is this user.
Mm-hmm.
This is his address. This is his email. This is his gender, whatever. Correct?
Yeah,
Correct.
that's correct.
Then order status, whether it is packed, whether it is delivered in transit or whatever, not shipped or what. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
And the time at which the order was created. So this is another table. But can you guys see a common thing in these two tables?
Yes.
Yes.
What is that?
The ID appears in all of
The
them.
user ID. Right? The
Yes.
user ID from orders table is similar to the ID of users table.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Correct.
So see, these are the two different tables which are interlinked with each other using this ID and user ID column.
Mm-hmm.
That is why we call it as relational database. Now there is another table, orders item. Okay, so in this orders table, we do not have any information about the products. What products are being ordered. So that information is stored in a separate table.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say order items. So this has order ID by which we will know that, okay, which order is this? And this order ID is similar to ID of orders table. Are you along following me or you're lost?
No, we are following. We are following.
We are with you.
So order ID, then product ID. What are the different products which are being ordered in this particular item order? Like let's say a mobile phone, charger, and a laptop. So these three different products have three different product IDs,
I get it. I get it.
right? And the quantity of them.
Right.
Again, this order items table is linked with orders table via order ID. Now orders table is linked to the users table using user ID. So that is how all of these tables are interlinked with each other using some common key. Right? So this is the set schema of a relational database.
Okay.
Now I think you are able to understand, okay, what is a relational database?
Yes.
Right? So in this system, the data is stored into the tables in the form of rows and columns. Then these databases have fixed schema, static schema, right? Okay, as we saw that in this particular table, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns. This table has 4 columns, right? So they have a fixed schema, fixed blueprint, right? Example of dynamic relational databases are PostgreSQL, MySQL, MS SQL Server, and all. Majority of the relational databases, listen it very carefully, guys. Majority of the relational databases, 90% they are same. For example, in this lecture tutorial, if I teach you Microsoft SQL Server, trust me, you can easily work with MySQL. You can also try to work with PostgreSQL. You can also try to work with Oracle with some minor changes.
Okay.
The concept, the logic behind will be similar. The only difference will be in syntax.
Okay.
The only difference will be in syntax. Why? Because these are the similar databases created for similar purpose by different organizations. For example, MS SQL Server is created by Microsoft. So they have their own set of syntax. MySQL is created by some other company. So they have their own set of syntax. That's the only difference. Right? In fact, in MySQL and MS SQL Server, 95%, I think, if I'm not wrong, 95% of the things are exactly same. So if you learn one of them very well, you can easily transition to the other.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
So these are the differences between relational and non-relational database. So let us quickly have a good theory about SQL also. It stands for structured query language. It allows us to access and manipulate the databases, right? We can execute the queries against a database. We can ask some questions from the database. We can retrieve the data from a database. We can insert data into the database, update, delete, create new database, create new tables inside the database. We can create stored procedures. Okay. Procedures in SQL are something which happens automatically when something happens. For example, if a product is sold, its quantity should be reduced inside the main database. Correct?
Right.
So by some trigger, if it executes, that is something called as procedure. We will discuss about this in detail, very much detail, and all of these things. Now, right. RDBMS is nothing but relational database management system. This is a data. I told you relational database. What is relational database? We understood that. Now the software application, the system which allows us to create and manage, do everything with relational data is called relational database management system. Right?
Right.
Example, we already saw MS SQL Server. IBM, no, IBM DB2 is a relational database created by IBM. Oracle is a relational database created by Oracle, and so on. Right? So that is all about basic theory about SQL. I think that is clear to you. And yeah, so let us do some hands-on also quickly.
Okay.
So Max, I think you already downloaded Microsoft SQL Server. Does this look like this?
Yes, it looks like that.
Right. So now, Jesse, which operating system are you doing using? Is it Mac or is it Windows?
Windows. We
Windows,
did
that's
that
good.
as well.
Sorry.
We also downloaded.
Okay. Okay, that's awesome. So now when you open Microsoft SQL Server, it will look something like this only, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Now let me give you a brief idea about this interface and then we will proceed according with the code. So see, this is the first option, file, in which we can open any new previous file. We can create a new SQL file. We can save everything, whatever what we want, right? So upper this bar is not very much frequently used by us as a data analyst, right?
Yeah.
Let me give you important things. Can you see this new query?
Yes.
Yes.
Right? So this is nothing but to create new tabs. See, initially I had only this tab, now I have this tab also.
Okay.
New query, correct?
Correct.
Then this execute. So whenever you write any set of code and if you want to run it, if you want to execute it, we will select that particular piece of code and click on execute. So
Okay.
whatever part whatever part you selected, it will execute only that set of code.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right? Then
Right.
here, can you see this master?
Right.
So this is the current database which is in use.
Mhm.
So when so see in the SQL server, so above database there is something called server. In a server there can be multiple databases.
Correct.
Mhm.
Correct. So this is the current database. But if I click on the drop down, I have a list of other databases which I have already created over the period. I can work in any of these databases which are already created, or I can create my own database also.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
But for I think in your system, it will only show master because you have not created any other database. So let us see how to create a database. Right. So class 1
Actually,
max.
actually, you remember you gave us an assignment to create a database. We did it already.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Mhm.
It's December 28, 2024 for me. Right. So I think you created it like this, create database. Right.
Yes.
Let's say I call it max SEDB.
Mhm.
I can name it whatever I want. Then
Okay.
I can put a semicolon or I can ignore it. Semicolon is just for good practice. It shows that this line of code ends, but it
Okay.
is not mandatory. It is optional.
Okay.
Okay. We will try to focus on every minute detail.
Okay.
Correct. Okay. Now, if I come to this left panel, you can see this is my server name, laptop-160plgfn. This is my SQL server. The version is 15.0.
Correct.
Can you see this left panel?
Right.
Now, there are a lot of options, databases, security, server object. All of these are not used by us. So see, inside a database, max, let's say there are 10 tables.
Yeah.
I can also put security constraint on those 10 tables. For example, my Max, I'm the owner of the company. You are in my finance team. Jesse is my events team. So Jesse will not be allowed to see the finance data.
Mm.
So I can put constraint that okay, who can view what, who cannot view what. Correct?
Correct.
So that what we can do is with security. Who can log in into what role, view only role, read only, or write access also.
Okay.
So there are a lot of things can be done here. So I will not focus on these things because as a data analyst, this is not our job. This is the job of IT admin, the admin professionals. Our task is to create database, manage and all. So when I click on the plus icon besides database, the list is long because I have created a lots of databases over the period. So actually, this is my habit. I create different database for my different student so that we can learn everything from scratch. I do not use all pre-written codes.
Mhm.
I will type everything in front of you so that we can think what are we doing, why are we doing, and understand that. Okay.
Yes.
So currently in this list, you cannot see this option of max Jesse DB. But as soon as I select this line, click on execute, it says at the below you says command completed successfully. Now that means this database by the name of max Jesse DB is created. And if I refresh it, if I close it, refresh it, and you open it again, can you see this?
Yes.
Max Jesse DB.
Yeah.
Now this database is created in the server. If I expand this inside the database, we can have tables, we can have views, we can have functions and lots of things. If I expand the table section, currently there will be no table. See?
Right.
But the next step can be, okay, let me also put comments. Comments are for our reference so that after the class, if you revise, you can easily understand, okay, what did we do? So when we use double dash, and what we write after anything after that, SQL understand that it is a comment. It does not add any value to the program, to the logic, but it is just for reference.
Okay.
So let's say I write creating a database. So this is a comment by which you can easily remember after some time that, okay, what we actually created a database in this line.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
Yeah. Now the second thing is let's create a table inside it.
Akshay?
No, you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a second. I'm looking at mine. I want to be able to see line 1 all through to like whatever. I'm not seeing.
Oh, okay. Alrighty.
The action is below the yellow line.
Yeah. Okay, Akshan, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, she wants to share her screen, so you can just see exactly what because as you're
Trina?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm saying that when I look at yours, you have all those beautiful lines that allow
Okay,
you
so
to
go on
quickly
tools.
refer.
Okay, go on tools above. Yeah, I think SQL Server Profiler, tutoring, tuning advisor, external tools, check for updates. Okay, go on Windows, Jesse once. I do not exactly recall, but let me check. The next option, Windows. Yes. Okay, let me just check into mine and then I'll just ask you to follow. Let me just quickly check.
okay.
Help, add or remove help content, nothing. Windows. Tools.
Let's do back. Okay, let me see. I don't know. Mine is not.
Do you have the?
Mine is not open. I don't know why.
Oh, geez.
Okay, so Jesse, I think I cannot recall it exactly. How did I get this? But
Okay.
I think we can easily get how to. Yeah. Okay. This is the option. Got it. Oh, what did I do? Tools, options. Yeah. So go to the tools, then click on options.
Oh, sorry.
And inside this, there was some option for to show the numbers, line numbers. Generate. Keyboard, quick launch, projects and solution, text editor, general. Drag and drop the texting, enable mouse click, follow this. All language plain text. Yeah, this line number. You have to check this box.
Yeah, I was just transferring the audio to me. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Mine is not opening, that's why.
Go on to this text editor. Text editor. Scroll down in the left panel. Text editor.
Okay.
Yeah. Scroll up. Yeah. Expand it. Expand it, Jesse. The text editor option. Expand it.
This is it, actually.
No. Click on this arrow. That arrow.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. General. Click on general. Did you click on it?
Yep.
Click on plain text. Click on plain text. Expand it. Yeah. Click on that plain text. Exactly. What that plain text. That word. Click on that word.
Yeah, it brings out a drop down.
Yeah.
Okay.
This line number.
My numbers.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now create a new file, new query.
Okay, let's go to a new query. Where's my thing? All right. All right.
I think once we reopen it, it will be shown as far as I understand. But this is the option. This is how do we get it.
Okay. Makes sense.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm restarting, so.
I guess once I close this and restart it, it should kick in.
Oh, just refresh. Let's see. Did you refresh? Refresh.
No. Let's see.
Okay. Then go to a new query now. New query.
No, I think you have to close SQL Server, then reopen it. Then it will update actually, no?
Okay.
Yeah. So I think this can be done afterwards. Let us not waste the time.
We'll do that later.
Okay.
Yeah. If there is any problem, we can discuss it, or you can just find a simple solution on Google. But that's how we do it. I recalled it.
Thank you.
Right? Okay. And can I continue?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can.
How do we create some tables inside the database? Correct. So let's say for now, I create a very simple table in which I want to store the name, the contact, the profession, and few details in the table. But see, Max and Jesse, one thing, let's say, just for an example, this name, it holds the value of characters, alphabets. Correct. This age column will obviously hold the value of numbers, numeric values. So there are different data types of data, numeric data, integer, decimal data, or string data like characters, alphabets. There are different data types in SQL. Right. Okay. So let's say I want to create a table. Create table. For example, student. This is the name of my table. Okay. Getting it?
Yes.
Now, inside a bracket, I will have to give the column names inside the table and the data type. Okay, let us do it one by one. First, the first column I want to be created is name.
I see. Okay.
Right, Max?
Right.
And the data type will be varchar. Varchar means variable length characters. So see, in SQL, whenever you want to store string values, alphabetical values. Max, please follow here, bro.
Right?
Yeah, I was having a problem with my secret server, but it's fine. I'll just follow the recording some other time and just do the practice.
Yes. Right. But see it very carefully. If I want to create a table called student with a few columns, so what I'm doing is create table name student. This is the name of the table. These create and table. These are the keywords. And the table name can vary. If you want to create a table called employee, if you want to create a table called orders, If you want to create a table called users and so on. Name of the column name and the type of value which we want to store. Varchar. Varchar stands for variable length character. Because see, Jesse is of 5 words. Maxwell is for 7 words. Right? Akshat is for 6 words. So everybody has a different length of characters in their name.
Okay.
That is why varchar.
Okay.
Variable length character, different number of characters can be there. And I can also allow a size that, okay, maximum it will be this size. So let's say 50. Some people have first name, some people have last name also. So roughly it is around 50 characters or maybe less than that. It will always be less than that.
Right.
Comma. So this is the first column which will be there in the table. And what type of value will it hold? It can hold variable length characters, alphabetical, numerical, alphanumeric, whatever. Second column, if I want, is age. But age will always be an integer. Age cannot be akshat. Age will always be 25, 35, 36, 37.5 or something like that, right? So age will be integer, number, pure number. Correct?
Correct.
Comma. Let's say gender also. And gender will also be varchar because it will be either male or female. Let's say varchar 10. I will give size 10, comma.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
So where do you get these code names and the code themselves? Is there somewhere we can get it? For example, the varchar, the integer for age.
Yeah. We will study about all of this in detail.
Okay.
Different data types in SQL. We will study about that.
Okay.
Correct. Let's say for now I'm just creating a table, and also I will also create a column student ID. This will be my main column, which will integer. Let's say for now I am giving it as integer, but you can give whatever data type you want. In general, social security number is, I think, integer only. Numbers. But if I wanted to hold alphanumeric values, I can give it varchar and so on. Correct? As soon as I select this line, click on execute. So my line number 8 will be executed and it says command completed successfully. Okay, without any error, this is completed, executed. Refresh it. Right? And if I go to max Jesse DB, expand it again, go to the table section. Max Jesse DB tables. Oh, okay. Why it is not showing? See, because when I executed this code, at the top it was master database.
Okay.
This table is created in the master database. This not created in Max Jesse DB.
Jesse database.
I have to first tell SQL use Max Jesse DB for now. I have to give the code that okay, whatever I do after this, do it inside the Max Jesse DB.
Okay.
I select this line. Okay, see the difference. Currently this is master, but as soon as I select this line, click on execute, it is changed to Max Jesse DB. Right. Now after this, whatever I will execute will be executed inside this database.
Right.
Correct. Now if I execute this line of code, it says command completed successfully. And now if I refresh it, go to the databases, Max Jesse DB, tables. Can you see this dbo.student?
Yeah.
So this is the table created in the Max Jesse DB. Now, if I want to view the table, what is all inside that table? I will write a command select asterisk. Asterisk basically means all the columns. Select Select is to print. Select is to print something on the screen.
Okay.
Right? Select asterisk from student table. That's all. It is very similar to English. Select asterisk from which table. This is the syntax actually. First we have to write select, then we have to write the column names. But when I want to select all the columns, I will simply use asterisk, or else I can give the column names which I want to be shown. Then from is the keyword and the table name. If I click on execute, you see we have an empty table, but only the column names are there. Correct? Now let us quickly put a data inside it. Insert one record into it. Similarly, you can insert multiple records into the the student table. So the command is very simple. Insert into. Insert into is the keyword. Insert into is the keyword. Student. Inside a bracket, we will give the values. So see, the columns are sequential. The first column is student ID. So let's say I give the student ID as 1. Okay. Comma. The second column is name. Let's say the name of the student is Maxwell. But always remember one thing. Varchar, the whatever varchar value we will give, should be inside a single quotes. Or double quotes.
Okay.
Comma. The third column is age. Let's say the age is 30. For say, comma. Gender is M, male. Now it is a varchar column, so I have to put it into single or double quotes. Actually double quotes. Oh, sorry, single quotes. Correct? And I put a semicolon, and as soon as I execute this line, okay, insert into student, then a keyword is missing values. This is the actual syntax. Sorry, I forgot to mention. So see, student is the table name. Insert into and this value are the keywords. These are important. These are the rules. And these are all the respective values to the columns. Execute it. One row affected. After this, if I want to see the table, see this magic. Now inside our table, we have one column, one row. Student ID 1, name is Maxwell, age is 30, and gender is M. So this is what we have studied so far. We can create a database, we can create a table, we can insert data into the table, and now we can also update or delete it. We will see further. But for today's class, I think this is sufficient. So first, quickly revise it. If you have any doubt, ask me. Whatever we have done so far.
Right.
Okay. You want to say something?
No, go ahead.
I think personally, I mean, I can only speak for myself, but also let me speak for Jesse somehow. I think we understand the chronology on how SQL is indeed a language. It's really a language that communicates to databases. But now my question I have to be able to use this syntax, to be able to use these codes, is still very strange to me. I know maybe this is a first class, but I think I understand exactly. Now I understand when a data scientist say, "Hey, I know my codes." So it's not like you're not formulating anything. You just have to know the codes and know how to insert them, the language which the database is going to understand. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now this is all which we are going to learn actually. I'm following it step by step. First, we created a database. Then we created inside a table inside it. Then we put some records inside it. Now, similarly, you can put a lot of records. For example, insert into values. The student ID is 2. The name is Jesse. And let's say the age is 30 and gender is female. If I click on this line, select this line, execute, one row affected. Okay. If I go to see the table again, now this table has 2 records. Similarly, I can put insert a lot of data inside this table. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, first let us save our work. That is also very important. Max and Jesse. What generally happens, we write the code, we forget to save it. Just give me a second, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot to save and I lost some of my work.
Oh, really? As you're working with
I
him?
don't even know how.
Yeah, Himanshu, मेरे को please बताना जब वो Kevin class join करे. I'm into another class. I'll just join immediately, right? Yeah, guys, right? So this is how do we proceed. And so when I come to W3 school again, you have to take an assignment. You guys have to read at least SQL intro part. This is SQL intro. Then SQL syntax. We have already seen what does it mean. Select is used to print. Asterisk is to show all the columns. From is the keyword, and this is the column name, a table name. What is database, tables, whatever it is. Just read all of this. You will be able to understand it. SQL select statement. This is what we have studied today, right? So you have to read it and come up with your doubts tomorrow.
Okay.
Right? When a student doesn't have any doubt, I simply understand that they have not studied anything, or they are too sharp, which generally is not the case as a beginner.
Yeah.
Promise you.
Right? As a beginner, it is not the case.
Yeah.
So I assume you guys read it very carefully, because Mike and Jesse, like there is a general behavior inside the students. We all of us like comfort. So it is very comfortable to sit in the class in front of a camera. Yes, saying yes, I understand. This is very easy. But when you do it by yourself now, you type code, you make a lot of mistakes.
Yes.
You will forget a comma. You will do spelling mistakes. Right? A lot of silly things can be done. And that's where you learn.
I agree.
Right? So you have to do this. What I will do, I will share this code. Okay. Right? I'll share this code with you guys on a Google Docs. I'll create a Google Docs. Right? And I will copy all of this code today into I'll paste into that Google Docs. I'll share that link into the group and show you guys access it. I'll allow you the access. Okay. Copy the code, try to play around with. Correct?
Okay.
Correct.
Read the theory, follow the code, write the code, make some changes, do some fun, like do whatever you want.
All right.
That's how you practice. That's how you achieve perfection. Right? So yeah, and we will continue with the different further topics in tomorrow's class. Okay. And I assume we are going to do daily classes, right?